1, 2, 3, 4.
What's up, besties? Welcome back to IE and Besties. As always, we are your hosts, and today we are with a very special guest who is my childhood friend, Josie. Would you like to introduce yourself? You can take either one, by the way. There's two,
guys,
but you're on that one.
Okay, what's up?
Sorry, guys. We have cameramen in studios back there. Do you feel awkward right now?
Just a little bit.
Oh, okay.
But it's okay. I just got here.
You know what?
So.
Good thing I brought.
Yeah, let's chug the buzz balls.
I don't need to put myself on the spot.
Let's chug this first then to kill the nerves.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for coming.
having me.
Ready?
Now that we're friends.
1, 2, go. I couldn't finish. This shit's disgusting.
It's actually not that bad.
Dude, honestly,
Pretty good. I just can't chug it like that.
Yeah, I think out of all the buzz balls, this is definitely the one I like the most. I agree with you, tequila.
I think it's very good.
Have you tried them before? She's like, I think they're it's
No,
so
I only
good.
had a red one, and just that's because my friends always ask for them.
Oh,
But
and that one's vodka, no?
yeah, I'm not even sure, but
Yeah.
I
we're
see
good.
a lot
We're
of people.
good.
I feel like there's a hype going on right now on buzz balls, and every single person I know is chugging them like crazy.
there's a job.
And I think they're disgusting, truthfully.
I don't think they're the best tasting either, but these get the job done.
I was
It's
just
a
gonna
little
say
bit
that.
of alcohol, just
It's pretty
gets
sweet.
it.
Yeah. Okay.
Thick layer of like sweetness.
I think that's what's like the convenience of them. I think that's really what I gravitate.
I
towards.
imagine people like shake it and like drink it.
Yeah.
Is that what they do?
But they have a huge
Oh,
one now.
okay.
Like, it literally
it's-
looks like
it's
like a fucking bowling ball.
ahead. Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that? Do you drink a lot?
I don't, not anymore.
Oh,
but-
okay, good.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
good.
do, but not like that.
Oh
That's
my
good.
god!
Yeah.
Did you ever have a phase where you did drink?
Nah.
Really?
I never really drank like that.
You're
Like,
always a smoker?
I was always like, I was smoking weed
okay.
or, yeah, just like cocktails or shit. Like, just like
Oh.
shots.
She's
Like,
fancy.
And not to get like fucked up.
Nah,
just
not to
like
get fucked
a little
up, no.
buzz.
Oh,
Dude,
okay.
I already went through like my get fucked up era, like just shit face.
Right?
And I actually got out of it, and I also got into smoking, but I also stopped smoking, and then I feel like I'm slowly starting to get back into my drinking
Yeah.
era. But I'm scared because I'm not I'm not overdoing it. I haven't had an episode where like I go ham, but I'm starting to like.
An
I'll go
episode, like a
somewhere-
manic
No,
episode?
I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna go pick up a drink before I go here, and it's like I've had stopped doing that a long time
happened,
ago.
yeah.
So I'm like, fuck. I hope I don't fall back into this.
Honestly, it's
habit.
just the aftermath of drinking that really made me
Yeah.
stop, because I feel like I need like
Exactly.
3 days.
Dude,
To
yes,
recover
the
now.
recovery is not even worth the one night going out.
honestly.
And I truthfully, when I was younger, when I was like 21, I would hear 26-year-olds like talk about it, and they'd be like, oh, that's, I'm so
Yeah.
exhausted. And I'd be like, what the fuck?
Me
Like,
too.
yeah, I'm like,
you're
don't
different.
be. No, literally, I
You're
was like,
average.
I'm just built different. I don't know what it is. And now I'm 26, and I'm
Yeah.
like, fucking hell, this is the worst decision
I'd
of
be
my
like,
life.
okay, pick me. Like,
That's how
like,
it was. Like,
okay.
now I'm more convenient. Like, always just trying to stay home. And, like,
Yeah.
if I do drink, I just want to stay home and, like, drink at home.
I
and
felt that. I've been wanting like
Feel more
being
comfortable.
home vibes, just more comfy. I don't know about you, but
But honestly, drinking at home is equally fun.
Throwing up, getting fucked up at home is different from. Like,
Yeah.
because you're comfortable.
Yeah, you're in your safe
You
space.
change into your sweats or you change into whatever.
or you can just pass out like on the floor, and
Use
it's
the
okay
socks
because
to
it's
clean your mouth.
a dirty sock, not even a clean sock. One time I got so like messed up, and at 2 a.m, me and my cousin alone in my house were dancing the Caballo Dorado. Like literally, I was like, yo,
Sounds about right.
this is a party, and we need
We've
to.
all done it, yeah. Hispanics,
yeah.
we've
Oh my
all
god,
done
talking
it.
about Caballo Dorado, I just saw a video that you could dance it as a couple. I didn't know that.
What do you mean?
Like you could do the Caballo Dorado, like, and they were like holding hands and like turning like each other.
Like that?
I
can
don't know how
see
to
that.
explain it. I just saw a video of it, and it worked.
I feel
But it
like
was just
people.
odd
Sorry, I
to
didn't
me.
cut
No,
you
no,
off.
No, you're good, you're good.
I feel like El Caballo Dorado, that dance alone is like you can use it for a lot of stuff, right?
Well, I
Like-
think it's because you can probably like square dance it, because the
Yeah.
original one is like
That's what I'm
the
saying.
country, like a country. It's a Billy Ray song, right? That's the
Yeah.
original one.
I have.
I don't know, man. I feel like it is. Achy Breaky Heart is low key in my
Listen, I don't
playlist.
know.
Oh, okay.
I love that shit.
No, but yeah, I was shook because I never seen anyone like do it as a couple, and I was like, oh, okay, like it low-key, I would have never do it just because it gave me like those vibes from like those high school couples that would walk behind each other, like holding each other and like walking. It gave me like that kind of vibe.
Like,
So I was like,
like the amusement park waiting in line.
literally, I was like,
Dude, I can't even like dance it alone, let alone holding on to
I've
someone.
never actually danced that. Like, yeah, all my cousins would dance, and I would just sit in the chair.
You don't know it?
I don't know it. Yeah, like I don't have the patience to learn it.
Oh, it's
Like, I
2
never-
steps every
Yeah.
time.
You know,
Two
that's
step
what
forward,
it is. Like it's just I just never had the patience to be like, Yeah, I swear.
Have you tried though?
I've tried it. It's, it's cool, but I feel like I have to be really, really drunk to try to do it. I don't know.
So then it is a rare occasion.
Yeah, it really is.
Maybe that's why you don't learn, because you're fucked up.
That's true.
I forget it, right? I forget it.
I learned it when I was younger because I had like mad FOMO that everybody was dancing and I wasn't dancing. So there was a girl my age. So I was like, bitch, how are you up there?
Show you up.
Yeah, no, literally I felt like she was like dance battling me almost.
Oh my God.
So I was like, whatever,
You
bitch.
showed her.
No, I really didn't. I sucked so bad.
Dude, it's crazy. I have memories of learning how to dance it too as a child. I feel like that's like a memory of most Hispanic kids.
Or you don't have sisters?
I don't have sisters,
I have
no.
3.
Okay, so
Yeah,
you
this is
like
one
you
of
probably
them
have
right here.
dancing in your family, right? Or like,
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
See, okay. See, that's cool.
Wait, what? Is having sisters like a...
Because, well, for me, at least, this is what I'm learning now, is that I didn't really shake my ass in the house. I mean, I did, but it wasn't, my brothers weren't really encouraging it.
Oh, that's
Nobody was really encouraging it. So, like, even with Evelyn, like, growing up, we never would really dance in front of the mirror. Like,
She had
you get me?
brothers
Like, we
too?
wouldn't really do that.
She had brothers too only?
She had a bunch of sisters, actually.
Then she did?
She probably could dance. Who knows? Like, she does dance, actually. But I'm saying, like, growing up with her, like, we wouldn't really, like, call each other out or, like, push each other to, like...
That's wild.
You get me? So now that I'm older,
it's so crazy
like,
how every experience is so different, because Emma could tell you right now, like, we're always throwing ass, like, in the house. Like, we'll be cleaning, using the fucking skull as a fucking pole, like, throwing ass.
Yeah,
like,
see, now that I think of it, I mean, I do it, but not...
You get what I mean? Like,
It's more
just,
in, like, a
thing.
silly
like
way.
When your cousins were over, right? Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm telling you, last time I said it too, I've been feeling the absence of like a sister growing up.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what do you mean there's dancing and sisterhood? Like, fuck you guys.
Dude, it's funny, the other night, actually, my little sister had her friend over, and they got... You were drinking too, Emma?
I'm sorry, how old are you?
She's...
21,
no
ladies
way.
and gentlemen.
No, and then like my little sister literally called me over because she learned like this dance. What is it called? The one the rocking or some shit like that.
You just move your hips.
Oh, where you're like in place and like your ass is shaking.
And you're like
I
going
can't
like
do
this
that.
or some shit. I've never done it.
Supposedly
but
like on your ankles and you're kind of like tin 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 tin.
No,
but
not
your
that.
ass is shaking.
No, not that. It was actually it's like
Do it. Get up and do it right now.
What do you mean?
No, I can't. But it's the song goes like I just want to rock.
Oh, that's
that one.
okay,
And then like
okay.
you like shake your hips, and she was so proud, but she was so fucked up. She was like, "Come here, look, I'm gonna show you I could do it." And she started doing it all happy. I was like, "Nah, that's crazy."
I'm all, yeah, just go ahead and rub your sisterhood in my
I'm
face.
so sorry.
Again.
It's just you're right. Like I'm sorry for you. Like, I do. Like everyone should have a sister.
Okay,
I feel
so
sorry. But you know what? That's someone who didn't have a brother. I always wanted one. So I feel like in a sense I get like that pain of wanting a gender sibling. Like I wanted a boy so bad.
I don't know, because I feel like I have a lot of different experiences as to my friends that are really close to their brothers.
Okay.
So I don't know if I'm missing out on both.
You're like
on both now.
You're like you're not missing out.
I actually have a question.
Yeah.
So you work for, okay, so is it in-wear OnlyFans or for OnlyFans? Before we continue, we want to take a quick break and shout out our amazing sponsors at Manscaped. It's never too early to play holiday music, and it's never too early to start thinking about gifts. Whether it's for a friend or the friends in your pants, you can make this season to be jolly with Manscaped. Do your little drummer boy a favor and use the Lawnmower 4.0 to avoid another silent night in the bedroom. Then add in Manscaped's top-of-the-line shower products to have the people thinking, all I want for Christmas is you. Santa cares about his sack, and so should you. Look nice when you get naughty by going to manscaped.com and use the code BESTIES for free shipping and 20% off.
Honestly, girlies, boys, anyone watching this, you already know, whether we like to admit it or not, when we are nice and groomed and clean and shaved, we feel much better than we are not. Honestly, like, you don't want to admit it, that's fine, but you already know. You know, if it could be simple as just sitting there and, like, rubbing your legs, you know that when they're hairy, you immediately start thinking, like, damn, like, I need to shave my legs. I need to do something, you know, but when they're nice and smooth, you feel sexy, you know, you feel confident, you feel good. So you better cop that. You guys need that. Don't let the winter time make you feel like, no, you always gotta be ready to go. So the Manscaped Platinum Package 4.0 is a one-stop shop for the man or woman who deserves it all. It has everything needed to help you deck the halls from face to balls, or, you know, just in time for mistletoe season. The Platinum package has each product from the best-selling Performance package, plus the Ultra Premium Body Wash, Ultra Premium 2-in-1 Shampoo plus Conditioner, and Ultra Premium Deodorant. It's the best way to smell fresh from your Santa hat to your candy cane. The Lawnmower 4.0 Body Trimmer and the Weed Whacker Nose and Ear Hair Trimmer feature the proprietary advanced skin-safe technology to protect your delicate presence. Plus, both are waterproof, so there's no issue clearing the snow out of your driveway.
There's also a 4,000 LED light on it, so you can light the way like Rudolph. Now that you've groomed candy cane, it's time to make sure you don't smell like a reindeer with the Platinum Package's shower products. All of Manscaped shower gear is sulfate-free, vegan, and made to have your skin feeling hydrated and smelling fresh. But smelling good doesn't have to stop at the shower. The Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant and Crop Reviver Ball Toner can solve stank problems all day long. Once they touch your sack, you'll never go back. The Platinum Package 4.0 is sitting under the tree. What the fuck does that say?
Guaranteed.
The Platinum Package 4.0 sitting under the tree is guaranteed to put anyone in the holiday spirit. And for the perfect stocking stuffer, add in the brand new Body Buffer, an incredible body scrubber that makes exfoliating easy and a lot cleaner than that old-fashioned loofah.
They have everything, y'all. Everything. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code BESTIES at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with Manscaped at Manscaped and use code BESTIES. Manscaped, get your jingle balls ready for the holidays.
And now we return to your regular scheduled programming.
Yeah.
So, you work for... Okay, so is it in-wear OnlyFans or for OnlyFans?
So it's just my own freelance company that I'm building up right now, but it's on OnlyFans. So I'm using OnlyFans like as a platform.
Oh, okay,
You know what I mean?
okay.
So it's almost like if you're selling, like where you're having like, because I pretty much sell suggestive propaganda, like photos,
Right, yeah.
things like that. You know that you can't really sell because it's like adult content
right.
on like eBay or even things like that, because there's like bunch of laws that you have to kind of have like and permits and stuff. So OnlyFans kind of grants you all of that easy passage, and you just kind of have to sign up with them.
Oh, okay, gotcha. And
you know
do you
what I
have to like give them...
It's just like CANT that you create. It's like they take like 10%, I think, from what you create.
Okay.
So it's not bad.
What got you into like wanting to...
So, because I feel like we've known each other for some time now, but I used to always post pictures like online and stuff.
Yeah.
And like it's always just kind of been like...
Yeah, she's been sexy her entire life.
Kind of
by the way,
pictures?
100%.
Please elaborate.
No, seriously, look at her right now. This is how she's looked her entire life.
I'm serious though. Like, it's just funny because a lot of people don't know that. Like, they just think I'm just jumping into like content creating like now.
Okay.
But I feel like it's kind of been like the eye that I've been having for a long time, and now I'm able to like monetize it.
Right.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, luckily, I have OnlyFans to just add all my content on there, upload videos or pictures and stuff. Like right now I'm kind of heading more towards like creating like a publishing like company or like some type of like like a stamp, you know, like in the industry, just because like there's nothing really there like that, you know. And
I'm sorry, what does that mean?
Yeah,
I'm
like
very
like a stamp, like kind of like how you would kind of like how you guys do your podcast, like what makes you guys different, right? Like you want to stand out in a sense.
Okay.
Like there's millions of people selling pictures, there's people taking pictures every day, but like I kind of want to hit that niche market where it's like OnlyFans and then like just the sexy stuff that it's kind of looked at like, oh, whatever, like I can't believe they posted that, or why is that even up, you know?
Okay.
More so into like wanting to get people more curious about it, and like I feel like I sound like Future right now. Sorry.
No.
But I'm still a little lost when it comes to stamp. Like, what is
So
that?
pretty
so
much
like
how Sal and Hugo both have their form of photography, and they're both like obviously very successful in it, but they both have like
styles?
you would go to Hugo for a different stamp than you would go to Sal.
Oh, okay.
kind of it's just like a figure of speech in a sense.
Yeah, like
you
what
know?
makes her
Because-
content stand out to others?
Because it's not just like nudity that I shoot. It's more about like I'm trying to get like more contrast of emotion, just like things that kind of like stand
like
out.
that.
You know, that you remember that image of like, I remember when I saw that and this is what I was feeling, or I remember when I first saw this picture and this is what this made me feel. You know what I mean? Like
kind of like, what's that word for that kind of dancing style where it's like where you dance but you like show emotion in dance?
like crumping?
oh, theatrical. yeah, that's very true though.
Hey,
that's one. Period.
I think it's like theatrical.
It's
like
interpretive
modern
dancing.
Oh yeah.
Interpretive dancing. Yeah, that's what came to mind. But
Why the
in a
fuck
picture
did I
form.
think
yeah, exactly.
Let me explain why I thought of crumping. I was watching Bring It On All or Nothing.
So much emotion.
And he was like, "No, you're angry. Let it out." So
she starts
crying. That's why I thought of that. Okay.
I know that. See.
So in a sense, like, what do you feel like has been your mark almost that has like kind of led you to be like, okay, like this is kind of the angle that I'm gonna take, and this is was there like a specific photo that you felt?
Honestly, I think it's like just getting the right people together. Like I met this one girl named Tori, which I love her so much.
Shout out to you.
Shout out Tori.
Yeah, the first time I met her, we were on set, and like she right away was like really like making me feel comfortable, and it was like I was hosting like the photo shoot, you know, like it was my thing, but she made me feel like very comfortable and like complete, even like her being a part of it was even like her included now, you know what I mean, like it was just so easy for the like us to
it all just flowed together.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
awesome.
I think like after that, and then like just realizing how far she was willing to go, and like how she kind of sees the same vision that I have for my brand, without having to like really introduce it to her, like she was already in it, you know what I mean? I don't know, it was really, really cool, like
and within OnlyFans, like are you able to see other creators too, like how do you connect?
Like I usually go like to network parties sometimes, but it's just like going out, drinks, and like one person invites the other person.
Things like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So it's not like you can see like a profile or something like that kind of vibes where you could look at their content.
I honestly just go on MySpace. What the fuck?
Period. Bring it back.
Right?
Bring it back.
I'm listen to their playlist and see how it flows.
No, so I'm usually on Instagram, and like the people that usually like my stuff are people that I gravitate towards, like my algorithm. Like I kind of go based on that, and usually, honestly, not gonna lie, I have pull, so I just kind of, you know, like it's really just like who you are, and like you know what I mean. So
like just being genuine, and
exactly.
which is in every field.
Exactly, because right now I'm not really getting paid for it. Essentially, like it's kind of like what I'm building the brand, and like people are like believing in it already.
I love that.
So it's just so like motivate, like it just motivates me even more to
and the fact that you said like you had pull, you know, and I'm assuming people gravitate towards that because you strongly believe in it yourself.
Yeah,
you know? And
exactly.
if you don't believe in it yourself, you're not gonna be able to sell it for others. You know, so that speaks a lot to, you know, how strongly you feel about what you are gonna like present and what you have to show. 100%. So I love that for you.
What do you think is like the most like the biggest misconception of like OnlyFans? Because I know when people think of OnlyFans, you know what I mean. Like they're just like, oh, you know, this slut, just fucking.
That's the thing. Like, there's a lot to that answer too, but like, I can't really speak for everybody. Like, this is just for me.
Yeah.
Like my experience, like it's been really funny because I have always tried to suppress like my sensuality, or like me trying to be sexy, or like me posting certain things, because it's like, what would my dad say, or like what would my friends say, or like even not only that, but like I follow my friends' boyfriends, or like, you know, that's type of thing. So it's like you gotta be very cautious about like what you're posting. Once I stopped giving a fuck about that, I just realized like it's more about like, I've always kind of been wanting to get that, not that attention, but just kind of bring like awareness to that type of sensuality.
You never saw it as something sexual.
Never,
like,
like it's never been like, oh, let's fuck. Yeah, it's not just like, oh, let's fuck. It's more about like you can make your body look like this, or it's like, it's not, everybody's different in their own way. You know? And like,
I love that.
You know, and I've always been like the skinny girl.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, fuck being the skinny girl. Like there's coolness to it, you know?
Yeah, no,
like,
for sure. Know, like, I think too, and what I noticed from your pictures is that like you, like they're always so beautiful. You honestly, you always look so beautiful, and I feel like finding beauty, because I was thinking that on the way over here. I'm like, damn, like I was thinking of Emrata, and I'm like, she just feels sexy all the time. You know what I mean? Or is there moments where she's like, maybe I shouldn't be sexy? Because me personally, I feel like I lounge a lot, and then one day I'm like, you know, I want to feel cute and sexy.
That's still sexy,
I'm gonna wear
like, being confident and lounging.
Yeah, but I think your pictures definitely bring out kind of that curiosity of like what would I look in that piece, or you know what I mean? So I think it's really interesting that that's how you kind of like portray that, because that's dope as fuck.
Yeah,
and that's actually cool that it's kind of like a testimony that she is
rude. She just took a shot without us.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were drinking.
Dude, mine's been done.
Okay, I thought we had all finished it.
You're good. No, but I really love that you said that. Sorry.
You're good.
Dude, that's how you know it's hitting. You
know, I like
when you spill a little.
No, dude, I actually already do feel that. I'm hot.
Period. But I love that you mentioned the fact that you felt like inspired in some sort of way where it's like, she looks really good in that. Like, how would I feel in that? And that's beautiful to inspire that in women, because, you know, I feel like a lot of times, like you said, you're scared of like what other people are gonna say, or they're gonna judge you. You know, especially already. You know, we're over-sexualized as women already as it is. So
hypersexual.
Super. Yeah. So the fact that right now that's something that crossed your mind, it's like, okay, like, cool, like, you're curious about it, and you didn't think of it as like something negative or like, oh no, I shouldn't do that. It was just kind of, you felt safe to have those thoughts. And
Yeah,
it was like,
yeah.
okay, like,
That's so cool.
That's dope.
Especially because I think among women, it's easier to be like, it's very much like, oh, esta creída, or like, why is she posting that? Like, you need attention. And sometimes I want to post stuff like that, but I'm like, and I'm still, kind of like trapped in that where like, oh, what is, my brother gonna say or whatever. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, but like, look at how hot I look, and I really want to post it. And it's not for like, necessarily like male attention. It's just kind of like, I really enjoy how I look in this picture and I want to share it. And I don't but I like today, I'm not gonna lie, I posted a gym pic and then I deleted it because I was like, bitch, why are you posting that? No. I know. And I swear to God, that's when I was like driving over here and I was like, but I just felt so sexy. Like, do people feel sexy all the time?
All the time. Like,
and I saw this, I wished I would have remembered how the girl worded it, but she said like she has like a big following on TikTok, and she says that like a lot of women, especially women, are always commenting like, you're doing too much, or te creída, like a lot of like, you think like you're the shit. And she's like, but that's never a reflection of how I feel. If you feel like I'm doing the most, and that's because you feel like you're not doing enough, Right. And that's so true. A woman that truly loves herself and is confident in herself, she's not going to feel threatened by what another woman is posting. She's not going to look at a beautiful woman and be like, oh, creída. She's not going to have thoughts like that. Yeah. But if you have like low self-esteem, like low self-worth, and you don't value and love yourself, you're going to have those thoughts where it's like, well, it's your ego protecting you, because you don't want to admit those feelings to yourself. You don't want to be like, damn, like,
so you put the blame on
someone else. Exactly. And that makes you feel like better about how you're feeling.
Not only that, but sorry, go ahead. There's a lot of like hate that when I started making this account, like a lot of girls that I thought would have my back, like, as in, they'll not have my back like personally, like they know me, but it was like they would understand because they're in show business, or they're like in entertainment, they're adult entertainers, and like they were the first ones to like create an account and like just throw shade. And it's like, wait a minute, like you're trying to call me like, call like out of people's names, and like you don't understand, like it's just a hobby right now, or like people get really offended about that, and that's like it's kind of shitty.
I was gonna ask, do you have a lot of problems per se, like you said, how you have friends who their boyfriends follow you or anything. Like, did you have any drama with that?
I never really had drama with that. Because I actually don't follow none of my friends' boyfriends like that.
Oh,
or, like,
okay, yeah,
I always draw like that line. Because honestly, for like my Instagram, it's strictly just like me, like propaganda. That's all it is. Like, it's literally,
like, it's your business.
Yeah, it's literally propaganda. Like, you can go in there and you can see that I have a boyfriend, or I have a girlfriend, or I have like this. It's all like a fake, not a fake persona, but like, it's kind of like innuendos. A fantasy. It's a bunch of exactly. It's a bunch of innuendos and assumptions that you can kind of create your own. Oh, and it's like you're open to translation for like whatever the fuck you want. Like, I don't care about like what you really think about me. Yeah. Like, it's more about like what I'm putting out, and like people really get it. Like you guys know me. I just met you, but it's like really cool.
Like I did. There's something there.
I've been knowing her for a while, but it's cool to like open up about it because it's been so intimate for me, or like it's been so like. Like I don't really tell too many people. Yeah. Like, not a lot of people ask me about it,
Yeah.
It's just like so taboo. Like,
no, exactly. Really and I think that's what it is too. Like, you don't want to come off as like rude or like invading your privacy, but it's all, I think naturally just humans have that curiosity of like, what really is going on, you know what I mean?
And what's crazy? Like, I had some crazy experiences, and I've always felt like if I had somebody to like talk about them with them, or like ask me questions, or like even be able to like process, like dissect the situation, it would be easier for me to like analyze what was really happening. You get what I mean? Because you're so, at the time I was so young and naive, or like just things like that. Because I've been doing like girl camming and stuff like that since I was like 19.
What is that? Girl
so it's pretty much like videos, like fantasies, like selling fantasies and stuff. Like,
oh, okay.
You can be like on different websites. Like I was on camsoda.com.
Okay. And this was before OnlyFans?
Yeah, this is way before OnlyFans. Like, this is way before. It's like,
Oh, okay,
and like, it was cool because it was just like, you kind of create like a video, or like, kind of like what girls are doing now, but like more personal, because people really like wanted to see you.
And they pay for this? Like, like they paid for the idea? Like, I want this, I want you to do this and
like
this
they would
that.
Pay for like what you want, like what you can wear.
Okay.
And like, you just like role play.
How did you stumble upon that?
Super random. I had a friend that was a stripper.
Okay.
I didn't want to be a stripper or anything like that. And at the time, like I said, I was 19.
Okay.
She was like, oh, I have like this really cool gig if you're down. And I was like, yeah, fuck it, And then I ended up turning into that.
Oh, and so you just kept doing it after that?
Well, I did it for like a few months because it was cool. Like I'm pretty photogenic, so it's kind of easy, You said period, but it's kind of easy to just kind of gain that like like chemistry over the lens, you know?
Okay.
But I never really cared too much because I had a job, or like I had like my, you know, I had to pay my bills and stuff.
Right,
and I had,
right.
like things to do.
So like you said, it was like a hobby.
Yeah, exactly. And then always at the time, it was always kind of looked at bad. It was always like, what are you doing really, you know?
Yeah.
And it's, you know, it's almost like now it's just like that as like, oh, it's you're doing that thing, you know?
Were your experiences always good using Cam Soda? Or did you have a bad experience?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It's like, it was really like personal at all. Like it was just, you make videos, people like chat with you. It's not.
It was live?
Some of them were, but I always did like personal or like just like one-on-ones, like.
And you showed your face?
Some of them, yeah.
Okay.
I was always cautious because I have siblings. And then at the time I was like really young, so I didn't know how far, you know, like things would go or anything like that. So I was always just cautious about that. Okay. Although one time, like this one person like aired me out to like my family.
Shut the
Yeah, it was really fucked up. This is actually like hot tea. Like for sure. This is for sure hot tea.
In tonight's news. No, I'm just kidding.
No. Like, I remember, like this guy like aired me out and like try to make it seem like, because on the website or the platform, you can have people like view you and like it's a whole like interface, you know, like there's a bunch of stuff on there. Like you can have users and like, you know, they favorite you, they buy you like gifts, like fake gifts and stuff. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So like he screenshotted that whole like database pretty much and like forwarded to my family, like to my girl cousins.
Why?
Yeah.
Though? Like who was
so
he?
he knew you personally, I'm assuming?
Yeah, he did. So he was actually
and did you know that? Sorry.
Yeah. So like my girlfriend, that was a stripper, it was her boyfriend. And like he was upset that I wasn't gonna dance or something. Like he was trying to sabotage. Like yeah. Like it was just one of those things where like I was so young and naive. Yeah. You know what I mean? And like,
but how could you know that was gonna happen? Though?
Cool,
you know what I mean?
Like, yeah, exactly. But it was like, you know, you learn like, I feel like that situation alone showed me like never to fold, or like it just taught me. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was just like, I don't want to sound like that, but like it's just one of those situations like that. Like it could have went so many different ways, but like luckily I was okay, and like it just was me learning that. You know,
was that one of the reasons you ultimately chose not to do?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly why it turned me off, and it was like it wasn't even necessarily like changing my life, because it was just more I was doing everything I could to gain my family's trust, and by doing that it was losing all of their trust, and like they didn't think I was like in the right place.
You don't mind me asking, why were you trying to gain their trust in the first place?
I was always a rebel. I was always like a bad kid. I was always a bad girl, like from heart, like from the beginning, you know. So it's pretty funny.
Which is funny because you were never a mean girl.
I was never. I mean, I was mean, but I was never that mean. But
you were never. At least with me personally, like
I was always
she was
really
never mean. She was just a little baddie.
I was always the one to be like, "Are you sure you want to do that?" Or like with my mean friends, you know. I was always the one to be like, "We shouldn't do that.
Oh, she just chill." She was a voice of reason.
Yeah,
that's
I try to be, but
And does your family know now? Like
yeah. My mom knows, my dad knows. My cousins, I mean, it doesn't matter anymore. Like I feel like I tried so hard to like be with them or like try to be cool with them, you know. But it's like we're literally in different like realms in this world, like totally different. Feels like that. Like worlds. So it's like I would at least hope one day that I could understand them and they understand me. Yeah. You know, because like we grew up wanting to be like together and like you know, like we were all like a really close family.
So you drifted, you feel like?
Pretty much, yeah. Like not because of that, but because of like, you know how like deaths in the family or,
right.
You know, things happen in the family, so you just kind of like, oh, we're getting older. You just kind of blame those things.
And your siblings, like they never, because you have only brothers, right?
So I have one little sister. She's 17, I think. Oh, okay. Yeah, she's gonna be a senior soon, and then I have a little brother. And they're pretty cool. Like, I think until they're pretty cool, right? I get that. I understand that. Okay, but no, what I meant to say was, I feel like I regained like their, like me wanting to be a role model, you know, because at the time I wasn't really too engaging with them, because I wasn't realizing like, oh yeah, they're my siblings, they're gonna be here forever. You know? Yeah. You know what I mean? Because they're so young at the time and they're not relevant at the time, because it's like they're not gonna be here when I'm like sad or because they're so little. You know what I mean? So now that I'm older and the role, like everything has flipped. Like we know how we were talking earlier how I've always wanted an older sister. Now I'm like the older sister, so it's like it's crazy how life works. It's like a full circle.
Yeah,
for sure.
And I'm sure that. Do they know what you do for work?
Yeah, they kind of don't ask because it's not really like I feel like their business in a way. But my sister, she kind of like knows, you know. Okay. Like she's been around. My family has been around. Like I actually have a relationship with somebody who's like a lot older than me. Okay. And my family actually knew, and like my siblings knew, and like I would bring them over, which was pretty sweet. just because like I feel like that was like my way of like being all right, I'm being equal. Like I'm not just like being this like young brat that's like doesn't give a fuck about this person, you know?
Yeah.
Like I feel like that was like a way of showing my family like I'm being serious, you know?
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
That you're not just on like this path of recklessness.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's exactly right, yeah.
And you know what's crazy too? I feel like with siblings you have this ideal that they're just gonna be this specific person, and like you said, like you're like, oh, you're not really relevant to my story right now, and we're probably not even relevant to theirs as much. And then you get to a certain age where you're like, oh shit, like
really
this
matter,
is like we really need to fix this relationship because like you said, like they're gonna be here forever.
No, literally, I relate. Like I remember Emily and Emma told me one time, 'cause when I was in high school, you know, they were middle like school, they were young, so I was my thing was just always being out crazy out with my friends, you know. I didn't really take them into account much, you know. Like I knew they were at the home, but I never was one to like try to cultivate a relationship with them. Like let's go to the park, or like let me take you out for ice cream.
Like, oh, I love my little brother, let's go to.
I never, and I'm sure that there are siblings out there like that that are really close, but a lot are just that's just not the reality for everyone, and that just wasn't. And I remember she told me recently, like I remember we were reminiscing about like when I was in high school, and I think I asked him like, oh, we're playing this game actually. What's the game called? The Redbox game where we're strangers.
Oh, we're not really strangers.
We're not really strangers. Yeah. So we were playing, and then one of the questions asked him, what did you think about me like in high school or some along the lines of something like that. And she was like, honestly, she was like, I really don't know. She was like, you were never home. Like we never hung out. I never had a relationship with you. Literally, I was just like, I was really shocked because I never actually even stopped to think about that because we have such a great relationship now. Like we're so close now. Like I love them, and I have them everywhere with me. You probably noticed. I take them everywhere, and it's like I can't believe that that's how I was in high school. Like
it's
I'm
really
so
fucked
shocked.
up. Yeah,
and it's like. And I don't, and God don't even say you fucked up, you know, because we just like, we were trying our best that we could, you know, with like what we had at the time. Like, you know, we were going through our shit, you know, like for some reason we were out there being hood rats. For some reason, like,
you were being a hood rat. I wasn't.
You were?
I wasn't.
Were you a party girl?
For sure I was,
Okay.
All the time.
And it's crazy too because how you kept saying like, oh, I was 19, I was so naive. And as a 19-year-old in your brain, we're like, I know, I'm so grown and mature.
And you're so just... We're so selfish and like we just think about ourselves. Like I really did not ever stop to think about them. Like, I never did.
I do not need y'all to.
That's
come.
why I'm really thankful too. Like with this guy, with this relationship too, it brought me closer to my siblings. Cause I'm like, like I'm not even around. Like I have, you know, like I should be around.
Yeah. No, honestly. So, and I'm pretty sure like you don't tell your siblings much about what you do for work, but I still feel like that doesn't matter when it comes to being a good example. Because I feel like, you know, your values, the example you set, who you are as a person, the way you speak to them, the way you speak to others, you know, I feel like that is really what will rub off on them, you know. 100%. Like if you're a good person and, you know, you do good things and you're a good example for them regardless of what you do for work. Like,
and truthfully, like my brother, I'm like, I don't really give a fuck in what you work in. Like, I don't want to hear that. I honestly just don't care. That's your fucking job. I don't even want to hear about anyone's like work day. Like, it's past the work day. Like, let's just talk about random shit.
Like, what do you do for work? It's like, what? Like, I hate that question.
Oh
like,
my God.
There's so many girls that's the first thing they ask guys, and I think that's so rude. Isn't it? Like,
kind of.
I mean, I think it's rude as fuck. Like, you don't ask that to me. I don't know.
Well, because it's like, I do this, and then what are you gonna say? Cool? Like,
right? It's like, you do work with pipes? Cool.
Yeah, it's like a definite, like, it's a conversation. You know what stopper I mean? Almost.
Yeah. No, and it's so funny that you guys bring that up because I was high last night. I had a movie night with my friends, the Primos Chidos.
Oh, okay.
I'm getting really close to them. And they came over to watch a movie, and I smoked. I hadn't smoked in a really long time. Like I said, I'm kind of like, I get anxious now. I used to not. So, like, I try to avoid it. But when I'm drunk, I can smoke. And we had been drinking a little bit.
It's like the worst time to smoke.
I know, right? So, no, for me, it's not. For me, I feel like when I'm drunk, if I smoke, like, I feel okay. I don't panic. I don't know. It's just...
I don't panic. I just, like, black out. I'm like, well, I don't even know where I'm at
when
anymore.
You're high?
Yeah, when I'm high, and, like, if I'm drunk and then I smoke,
No, for me, I think it's because being drunk kind of takes me out of my body. So, when I'm high, I smoke when I'm drinking. Like, it's like, I feel like I'm kind of floating. Like I don't feel like I'm like in my head. I don't know how to explain it. So, but it's funny that you bring the topic of like, what do you do? Like, we put such an emphasis, like, what is our purpose on earth? You know, what is, and a lot of people, when they think, what is your purpose? They think of, like, their job, their career. You know, it's like, oh, what are you doing for work? You know, and it's like, it has nothing to do.
That's such
like,
a good
at
point.
all. It has nothing to do. Your purpose and your career are, like, not 100%. Intertwined at all. And I kind of hit me last night because watching this movie, and the couple in the movie was, like, having, like, a fight, and I guess they went on vacation one last time before they told their kids they were getting a divorce.
Oh my God, is it Trip to Paradise?
No, it's old. It's terrible movie. Don't watch it. It's a waste of time.
Maybe they remade it because I just...
And they were on vacation, and the wife, you know, they had already said in the movie, you know, hey, like, this is a nice vacation. They're trying to keep it a secret from the kids. And the dad walks in the room, and he just starts saying, like, oh, my job, you know, I'm recommending, like, my customers to get this insurance so it'll benefit, like, blah blah blah, just like rambling about work. And it just kind of hit me at that point, like, bro, like, careers, like, that is not, like, your purpose. Because I guess, like, the husband was, like, rambling, like, I care about my job, like, I care about my work, and he was putting like a huge emphasis on, like, what a good job he had, and his whole marriage and life was falling apart practically, and he still kept rambling to his wife about, like, his job. And I was just high as fuck sitting there, like, bro, like, you're telling me right now that your marriage is falling apart, and you're still thinking about, like, oh, I'm recommending, like, my customers to do this for their insurance and blah blah blah. And it's like, what? Like, but I just can't, like, what? That just was, like, so wild to me, and I was just kind of like fixated on that, like, bro, like. And if
you really think about it, that's pretty much how most marriages run on anyways. Like, your husband or you go to work, and then you come home, but it's already, like, past 5, so 90% of your day is at work, and then you come home and you're too tired to do anything else, and you kind of just get fixated on that routine,
and then it gets, like, moshed into the same day.
Exactly.
And then the whole month is the same thing,
and then it just kind of it's dull. And I feel like that's why I think content creating is so cool, and I think it's such a good like, if you're passionate about it, it's such a cool, I guess, career to go into, because you're working your ass off, but I don't think that it's ever the same thing every day.
Like, working, like, a dreadful 9 to 5.
Yeah, like, you know, like how they say, like, oh, if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life, which is true, but eventually, you know, you will feel a burnout, but I think you have to, Yeah, but I think it's always easier to kind of come back to your motive when you're doing something that you do love and when it feels
purposeful, right? Genuinely.
I think it's, like, the difference between the two, like, passion and then, like, purpose, because, like, sometimes you don't really have, like, the purpose, and, like, you don't even know the purpose, but, like, you have this passion of, like, how to get there, you know, like, you don't know why you're in the right places at the right times, but, like, your purpose, or, like, your what was the other word I used? I forgot.
Passion?
Yeah, like, your passion or your like, it's pushing you in the right place, you know, so, like, it kind of, like, has to be the same, like, with the discipline, I guess, too.
And I think having a purpose necessarily, like, because my husband's name's Alex. Alex does that a lot too. He'll be like, oh, well, it's because I have to do this to do this. And I'm like, why? Why can't you just do this to enjoy it? Like, why do you have to do this for a reason? Why can't you just do it because you like it? And because he's a little nerdy. And he, like, sorry, babe, I love you. She smiles when she says nerdy. Because he's nerdy, it's cute. And he, like, airsofts. And, like, whenever he's, like, not airsoft for, like, 2 months, he'll be like, oh, I'm going to sell my gun because, like, that way I have money and I can. And I'm like, why do you have to make money off of, like, it's just your hobby and you don't have to do it that consistently. You just like it. And there doesn't need to be a reason as to why you do. You can just do it because you like it.
Oh, guys are like that, though, too. Like, they'll make an excuse up just to be like, oh, it's because of this. You know?
Men. Do you feel like men have not, like, taken advantage, but just have been more disrespectful towards you? Like, when you entered that kind of...
It's funny because I actually never... Funny question. Really good question. Because I think, like, these past relationships I've been in until this one, I've always kind of, like, suppressed it and never been too much about it. Like, I would always be the one to send him nudes, and, like, he would always be the only one getting, like, the stuff that I'm making money off of now.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're man, like, now, or?
I have a boyfriend now. Like, the boyfriend I have now is so supportive, and he's, like,
oh, but this is the next.
So this is, like, my past relationships. Okay. Sorry. Like, the past relationships, like, I feel like until now...
So you would give him the content for free, girl?
Damn. Not necessarily that, because I was never right. That's what it was. I was never really selling my content like that. Like, I was never really that deep in it.
Just for funsies.
Yeah. So, like, I noticed that, like, the guys that I was dating, they would kind of judge me in a way because they'll be like, oh, you're gonna be sending these pictures out to other people now. And it's like, no. Like,
I hate
me
that.
sending things to you was actually boosting my ego for my own self-worth.
Yeah,
but it's
you're
sad to
being
say
insecure.
that. Yeah, like, it's sad to say that I was that low at that point. But, like, that's kind of what that was, how it would work. So it's like, they would take it in the wrong sense, you know? So then by avoiding the problems and stuff, I wouldn't really post as much. I wouldn't do none of that. So then I ended up just cutting everything off and being like, fuck this. Like, I actually want to do what I want to do. And, like, I'm making money. And, like, I always had a good feeling about it. And, like, now it's, like, even better. Like, it's just stronger. And it's, like, I should have done this, like, 5 years ago.
Yeah,
you know? Like, I was just in denial of everything.
No, and I feel like that's the process, you know? Like, you have to go through those low moments to really kind of find the strength and courage in you to do things like this, because we have really been brainwashed as a society to kind of feel like being like, you know, sensual or sexual any type of way, it automatically is like bad,
or even
it's
hypersensitive,
like
anything, like any emotions. It's like, oh, you're on your period, right?
Yes.
It's never been, it's probably
that.
been like my last relationship where my ex had a point, but he would be like, oh, you know, like, it's that time of the month, like, I can tell, you know. And it's like, it got to the point where it wasn't the time of the month, and it was like, man, fuck you, like, it just became so offensive, you know. It's like, and I've never been in that situation because I never actually felt like I was that person or that difficult person. You know what I mean? To like,
no, and it's just, I hate that, like, I hate that feeling that girls feel that they have to be like, we have to be like not an issue, like we have to be cool, like we have to be chill, like we can't be too crazy, or we
try
can't be
so
too
hard
mad,
to be
cool, we have to be relaxed, you know, we gotta be one of the boys, like, I hate that mentality. And it's like, no, why can't you just step up emotionally and like learn a little more? Like, why can't you learn about emotions, and why can't you just...
And even if it is that time of the month, why can't you understand that my body's going through so fucking much?
You will never
crazy
understand.
is that my boyfriend now, he actually steps out the house when I'm like PMSing, when I'm gonna start, like, you know, just I'm tripping, he'll like step out and like
just give you space.
Yeah, and like, he comes back like a day later, and it's like perfect. Like, I text him and stuff, you know, we stay in touch, but like it's just one of those things where it's got into where it's like, you know what, let's just not get out of character. And like, I feel like those situations at the time, it's just like some chemistry. I don't know what the fuck to call it, because I've never been that way, you know? Like, I feel like as you get older...
that just sounds like a healthy relationship. You found She's like, I've never done this before.
You found something that worked for you.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, and like, he's able to analyze it and be like, all right, you're not acting yourself, so peace out.
Yeah,
and it's cool. Like, he won't take it personal, you know?
And honestly, having time, I hate being bugged when, like, truthfully, just when it's that time of the month, I'm like, please get the fuck out of here. Like, if you don't want to hear me in a bad mood, then leave, because my bad mood's staying.
And I won't even admit that I'm in a bad mood. Like, that's the worst about it. Like, I won't say, like, yeah, maybe it is me. Like, I will still go,
get the fuck out of here. That's fucking funny.
No, those were really good topics, though. I feel like it's hard for me to, like, not... I always go too deep, you know? So just let me know.
No, that's cool.
Because I don't want to get, like, too much about me, you know? Because... But, like, it's a conversation. You know, like
no, it is, but it's cool when you do that, because it definitely transcends through the camera. Like, people really connect when you get really deep. Even if it feels too deep here, on camera, like, people really connect with that.
And it's funny because I've been holding back from asking questions that are too deep.
No, please do. Like, because that's one thing too. Like, I always kind of do things like very like... not aggressively, but it's like, if you're gonna do it, just fucking do it hard. Or like, you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, don't be shy. I feel like also too, it's my job to like kind of beat the stigma of like what OnlyFans is, you know?
And truthfully, that's why one of the reasons I wanted to have you on, because even just naturally, it just happens sometimes without wanting to. And I was always like, man, I want to subscribe, but I don't know if that's weird, you know? Especially even for women, because women, I think too, are curious about the woman, like the female body.
Yeah.
Without being admitting to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's the thing with me. In. Like, I think, like, I'm definitely curious about the female body, but I'm not, I would never say that I'm, like, bisexual. Or, like, I'm also not bi-curious, because I feel like I'm not curiously in any way interested in finding out, like, emotionally. You know? Because... I feel like we all want, like, a best friend. Or, like, we all want that. Like, we were just talking about it.
That female connection.
Yeah, like, the female connection. Yeah. Sisterhood.
Oh, yeah.
You know? So, I feel like it's in everyone.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's just
like,
kind of a curiosity, because you're like, okay, my body looks like this. And there's this person that you know, and you kind of feel, like, some form of connection. And you're like, okay, I wonder. But not because I want to, like, lick her pussy. But just because, you know, like, how is her body different than mine? Because especially, I had mentioned it before, too. Like, you watch, like, porn or whatever, and their bodies are so manicured to look perfect.
Yeah.
And so you're like, okay, my body doesn't look like that. I wonder if this person that I know's body looks like that. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of, I think it's just like a natural human curiosity. I don't think necessarily it has to be like.
I think even too, like, sometimes when I watch porn, like, for research purposes, right? That's what I like to say.
Right.
I
watch it for research purposes as well.
I feel like sometimes with, like, guys even, like, a guy would look like somebody I know. Or, like, it's kind of funny because I like nerds. And I feel like the guy would kind of look like a nerdy guy. And then you kind of, like, want to click that, you know? And it's not even about, like, you want to have sex with this person that you know looks like him, but it's just, like, that curiosity of, like, what if?
Right,
you know what I mean?
right. Or
really
just,
weird,
like, to wonder what's
because I only
under.
click for, like, 2 seconds, and then I'm like, all right, next.
Yeah,
like,
that's
you know what I mean?
Okay, bye.
Like, that's, like, it's just, like, curiosity.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if it's everyone, truthfully.
Yeah.
I personally don't relate, but I've never been big on porn.
Okay.
Like, so I can't, like, I just can't.
Yeah.
But I don't, like, judge you guys. It sounds very reasonable.
Thanks for not judging us.
Yeah, it sounds very, like, I feel like if I did, that would make sense to me.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not ashamed to say it. I feel like I know a lot of women watching this can relate, because I know I'm not the only one. There was, like, a time when I would watch porn, like, back in high school.
Sorry.
No, you're fine, you're right. And sometimes I would watch lesbian porn a lot.
Yeah.
And not because, like, I fucking like girls, just because when I would watch, like, heterosexual porn, like, it just wasn't it. Like, I couldn't get turned on.
The chemistry wasn't
like,
really...
exactly.
Yeah,
like,
I think that's because, though, heterosexual porn is more...
catered to men. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. 100%. Because I would see the way that a
It's
man
not pleasing,
would
like,
be
what?
ramming this girl, and knowing what sex feels like to me, I knew that didn't feel good. Like, I knew what he was doing to that girl didn't feel good. I just could tell, like, I wouldn't enjoy that at all, because when you're watching porn, you obviously envision yourself, you know, you picture that being done to you. So obviously watching heterosexual porn, I'd be like, this does not feel good. So and no video that I would click on would feel good. Like, I would be like, damn, this is fucking ass. And then one time,
you almost feel bad if you're like, why? Like, that sucks that she has to do
Why am I
that.
still watching this?
Exactly. And then one time randomly, like, this, like, lesbian, like, video came up, like, on my, like, recommended, and I was like, oh, like, fuck it, I'm gonna click on it, because the thumbnail looked very, like, pleasing to me, and I was like,
provocative.
Okay, yeah, provocative, honestly. And it was really great. And I'm not gonna lie, I did feel a little confused when I watched it. I was like,
was there, like, a midget
what
involved?
Does this mean? No, I was like, am I gay? Like, I was like, fuck it. I wasn't, you know, it's natural, you know.
That's natural, yeah.
And but I was like, no, like, I like dick too much. I'm not. Yeah. But I do. I eventually, like, I just got out of it because I met someone that, like, really, like, I felt really pleased with, so I didn't feel a need to watch porn anymore, and I haven't for a while, thank God. But that was something that kind of just always turned me off about porn. That I've never really felt like, oh, let me go back to it, or, like,
it's like one-sided.
Exactly. So, ladies, if you're listening to this and you watch lesbian porn, don't feel bad.
Yeah, you're not gay.
You're not, you
Just
know. And even if you were, that's okay. Like,
that's so true though, because I feel like that's actually what it is. Like, with me, I learned that I like not role playing, but like hyper realism, like things that, like, would be real. Yeah. Not like getting stuck in a washer or something, you know? That's not real. Like, who does that?
Dude, no lie. Like, when I search it, I'm like, sex and love. Me, I'm like, I want to feel something when I'm watching this.
Sex and love. I love that. Passionate love.
Literally.
Real love.
I forgot to say that. I was thinking about that when I was going on my rant. The only time I've actually been able to watch heterosexual porn is when I literally put, like, sex, romance. Yeah.
No, you're so right about that.
Romantic love
because
making.
Half of the time, I feel like the woman is the one directing it and editing it. She's the one, like, telling him, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that.
Mm-hmm. Or it kind of it shows more like the female pleasure, where it's like mostly just the guy eating, like, the girl out and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but honestly, ladies, don't be afraid to speak up for what you want. Like, what feels good to you. Like, be in control if you need to, you know. Like, if it's a partner that you love and, you know, and they're trying to please you. Because I know personally,
100%.
Yeah, because I know personally, I would never speak. Like, they'd be doing something to me, and I'd be like, damn, I really don't enjoy this.
Don't ever let that. No,
yeah, like, I don't enjoy this, but I feel bad. Like, I'm not gonna say anything. Like, you know,
you better say
say it.
Yeah,
say it. And if they love you and appreciate you, they're gonna want to please you, so they're gonna take notes, and they're gonna eventually, hopefully, you'll get to a point where they'll just know you. You know, they'll 100%. Know what you like. Mm-hmm.
I have a best friend that says, there's always a lid to every pod, or every pod. You know, like, there is, like. I was in a situation where I wasn't really getting the affection that I wanted, you know, and I wouldn't speak up either. I was always like, I'm freaky enough for the both of us. Like, it's fine. You know what I mean? Like, I did out of love. Like, because I'm very, like, giving. And that's, like, me, acts of service. Like, that's who I am. Like, that's my love language, I guess.
Okay.
And I realized that it got kind of old, And then for me to bring it up and be like, hey, you should do this, it was more demanding. And, like, my ex at the time told me, like, you're too aggressive, or, like, you're too...
Too
like,
much.
how can you even demand that? Like, you're a woman, you're a lady, you're supposed to be a lady. How can you, like... eat me out, like, just do it, Like, that sounds so crazy, but it sounds crazy, But like, it's crazy that a girl has to ask that for a partner,
But and I truly do think it goes back to pornography, because men start watching porn at such young age, and it's such a like, oh, you need to be kind of like
good at
the dominant one in the bedroom or whatever, and it goes back to like, oh well, yeah, I finished, so this is probably like fucking great, and it's not. It's not fucking great.
No, and it's really shitty too, like when you bottle up like those feelings of like your man's not able to please you. It builds up over time.
It takes a toll on yourself, because then you think it's you, and it's not you, it's him.
And then you don't even want to do it anymore, and it's just awkward.
Yeah. And don't let it get to that point, ladies. Like, if you really communicate from like day one, like, it'll be fine. But really have that communication, be vulnerable, speak up for what you want. You can
know what you want to.
You can you can speak about it in a respectful way. You don't have to be like a bitch, and like, you can assert yourself in a like loving, respectful way. Yeah. And if you're with a good person, they'll reciprocate. Like, they'll be okay with it. They're not gonna make you feel like you're asking for too much, or you shouldn't be asking for that, or it's wrong.
The wrong person's gonna say that, and that's why you have to move on.
Literally.
And like, you cut them off, and then you get exactly what you want.
If someone reacts negatively, their ego is hurt, and they're just lashing out.
Super red flag too.
Super, yeah. So,
and truthfully, I think that's one of the reasons I want to have you on too, just because like even now, I think sex is starting to get like that stigma of like, oh, it's bad, is starting to kind of come down a little bit, especially with like women reading more, like, I guess they don't say, but like more erotica books, and even just like stuff like that. I feel like it's a good way for women to feel like they're in control of their bodies. Yeah. Because so long, like, we've been just taking in content that was solely for men, that now that it's kind of getting a different direction, men are kind of starting to be like, whoa, like, look at all this shit. Yeah. I saw this post, I don't remember if it was on Twitter or TikTok, but it was pretty much saying like, men make fun of women like watching all these romance books and telling them that it's realistic, and really the only thing that's in the romance book is like, oh, a man is treating a woman nicely.
Yeah, that's
and it's like, what do you mean this isn't realistic? Like, this is just bare minimum stuff, you know? So I think all the like the women, like even just like yourself, like content creators, kind of taking control of their own body and their desires is definitely bringing more awareness to the female pleasure, which is really, really dope.
Yeah, and I think too, it's a lot of responsibility too, because a lot of people will mistranslate that, you know? So, like, it's, even for me, sometimes I hold off on, like, what I want to post. Yeah. It's like, fuck, I don't want to give off the wrong impression, or I don't want, like, to turn somebody off, you know? But that's what I'm realizing now, too. It's also about curating, not about what my brand wants, but, like, who I am, you know? Yeah, because, again, going back to that, like, what do you really do for a living? It's, like, every day I'm working. Like, every day, I feel like even when I did have a job, like, it wasn't what I was doing, my purpose, you know? Yeah. And now it's like, it just feels really good to be like, all right, this is something that if somebody doesn't understand it, at least I'm getting paid. Oh, okay. Like, I don't care. Yeah, you know, it's one of those things that I'm realizing, like, how to, like, turn off the switch and be, like, respectful towards, like, what I want and, like, my life and, like, what I'm, like, what my boundaries are, you know what I mean? Like,
not needing the validation,
you know, because if others. I'm not offending my best friends or, like, my best friend's mans or, like, people that are, like, close to me, then I really have no, like, I'm not guilty for shit because I'm not doing anything wrong.
You have nothing to apologize for.
And there's people that, like, will blame you just because of the work you're in or whatever, you know? And it's like, it's not my fault that I'm a hot bitch. Like, my bad.
That I'm a hot bitch and that your man's a pig. You know?
No, literally.
You know, and, but...
I was going to ask
you,
love. Like, how did you transition from, like, wanting to get into photography?
So that's the thing, too. Like, I was always timid about getting the right photographer to shoot me, because I'm always the type that's like, let's just get naked, let's go. Yeah, you know? Like, I was always into nudity. I was always like more comfortable in that sense, and like building like the storyline behind me, like not just me being nude, but like where I'm at, like what I'm doing, you know, and so forth. So I was always trying to find that type of chemistry, and like people wouldn't even like match up, or like people don't want to match up to that, because most men or like most photographers, at least the photographers that I've came across, like they just made it very clear that they just want to point and shoot, and it's just like, you just want to see like your ass, your ankles, and like your neck, and like that's it, you know? It's like, there's more to it, you know? Like, And I didn't really want to continue to like put my time and like me out there with random people. So my boyfriend started shooting me.
Oh, okay.
And then he started showing me how to do it, and then like not how to do it, but like composition and like kind of how to put things together.
Yeah.
And I already kind of have like my own eye, you know, so it was really easy for me to be like, do this, do that, and like,
oh, that's awesome.
you know, because I'm already around a lot of girls too that are already in the work already too, so it's like really easy for them to be like comfortable in their own skin too.
Do you
like,
know a lot of other female photographers?
Not so much. Yeah, there's like a few. There's a few out there. They're doing a lot of dope stuff, but I don't know anybody too close to me. Like you know, like I always kind of just stay away.
More like of an acquaintance that
like Instagram friends or you know things like that, like cyber friends. I think it's
okay.
better though, like being cyber friends than anything, you know, because
I feel like that's in. I have a lot of cyber friends right now. I'm not gonna lie.
Me too. Cyber friends are in right now.
It's just cool because it's low maintenance, but you know you can still message them whenever you kind of want to,
and they know when you're up and when you're down, and they're there in the both times.
Yeah, it's just
you know
so
what I mean?
weird.
Yeah. Like friends, online friends. That's what.
Yeah,
you
just
yeah.
online
Like
friends.
I have a friend. There's this girl that I went to high school with, and I never spoke to her in high school. Like never.
What's
never,
her name?
Never.
Or
her name's
different high
Lorena.
school?
Hi, Lorena. I'm just gonna shout her out now.
Talking about Hershey, Lorena.
No.
Oh, never mind. That's elementary.
No, I think that was middle school.
Oh, that's my elementary. Sorry, but
Oh yeah.
she did go to
yeah.
Sycamore though.
Did she?
Yeah. Well, I mean the one that I'm thinking about. Sorry.
I know who I don't know who we're thinking about.
Sorry.
Maybe we're thinking about different persons. No, this one is from high school, and she lives like I'm not gonna say where she lives. She lives far away, and I don't know. One day I just started like messaging her, and like I just like her baby content is so cute to me, so I'll respond to all of it. And I just message her like once I'm your friend on TikTok. If I'm sending you TikToks, like that's it. Like I love you so much. So we just like I always message her, and I'm like, dude, like I wish we lived close to each other.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's like the new pen pal kind of.
Yeah.
Almost. You know
That's
what I
cute.
mean?
Yeah.
Do you remember like the Flat Stanley? In
The
school?
what?
Flat Stanley. You remember that?
No.
What?
What is that?
It's like this exercise in school where, well, at least my teacher made us do it. It's like you write a story or like a short about me to somebody in like this. They give you like a specific school and like it's like a pen pal.
Oh.
And like you're supposed to stay like writing to them like until you're
Forever.
in high school. Yeah. And it's like your pen pal, but it's like essentially you create a little flat character. It's like Flat Stanley. And like you just draw him like how you are. He receives it, he draws you one back, and then
That is so cute.
Yeah, it's kinda cool.
What grade was that?
that was like me like third grade. No.
Okay.
Yeah, third grade, second grade.
Aww.
Yeah, I don't
It's
think
pretty
we
cool
did
though,
that.
you know? Like
That's cute.
isn't it? Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel about like.
Who's fun?
That's mine.
Who's rude?
What is it? Is this scam likely?
Yeah, it's just scandalous. Hold up, I'm not answering this.
Dude, scam likely has been annoying the shit out of me.
No, it's something
Fuckers.
else. That we're not doing that today.
Oh, it's not scandalous? That name's not scandalous?
This person's scandalous.
Oh, gotcha. I thought that was the name. I was like, that's an odd call to get. Are you gonna answer?
No, but go. Sorry,
Honestly, I totally lost my train of thought
I'm
now.
so
I'm sorry.
sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
we're talking about pen pals,
Damn, you're fucking that shit up.
dude. It's so fucking good. Y'all missing out.
You said it's spinach dip, but like it's white.
Yeah.
Isn't spinach green?
It's spinach
It-
artichoke,
it's
so that's
green in
cream
there.
cheese,
Sorry,
no?
okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's,
You've never had a spinach artichoke dip? Dude, go to Applebee's. Theirs is really
Really?
good, yeah.
Really good.
I
You should
fucking
try
love
it. Just try it a little bit.
But if
I'll
she doesn't
try it.
like it, that's gonna be awkward.
It's fine.
I'm actually really good. I'll be really good.
I
but
can take criticism.
I'll take some later. Thank you though.
I can take it.
It looks good.
Wait, did you make it yourself?
Yeah. I
Okay,
did.
okay. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Is this your first time ever making it?
It is actually.
Really?
It's my.
So then I won't have it.
I'll come back.
It's actually my coworker's recipe.
Oh,
She brought it
nice.
to work one day, and I was like obsessed with it.
Oh.
So I had friends over last night, and I was being a good host.
And you made some for
And
your...
I was in the aisles and I didn't know what the fuck to get for snacks, and then I passed by the cheese aisle and I was like, oh yeah, I immediately thought about her dip. And
I
was
fucking
like,
hate hosting. It's
they
so
fucked
much
it up.
responsibility.
They liked
I
it.
love hosting. So much
Really?
fun.
Honestly, I like
So
it if
much
it's
fun.
small and intimate.
Yeah.
But when it's like a big party, I hate it because I
Yeah.
feel like I can't like just be with like people. I'm like, constantly moving around and I hate that.
Okay.
I was talking about like I love like coordinating the food and like just having people come to the house.
I think I just like having it at my house, but everyone else
I won't
bring
really
it.
talk to people. Like I'll have everybody else talk to each other.
Nice.
But like I love like getting the food together, just being like the one to be like, oh, come over.
You're like, can I get you anything else?
Yeah,
No, you gotta keep this conversation going.
I'm actually infamous because a lot of my friends at the time when I was like partying and stuff, I would always be like, do you guys want Molly? Do you guys want acid? Like, but I wouldn't do it though. You know, I'd just be like, do you guys want it? Like,
chaperoning everyone.
Yeah, like I have all the flavors. Like, what do you guys want?
I love that. So you do OnlyFans, you do photography. Is there anything else that you venture in?
That's pretty much like what I like to do. You know, just like what I feel is fun. You know, and lucky for me, I get to make money off of it. So
I love that.
That's cool.
Wait, and you still put out your own content, or you still just
I do everything on my own. Like I do editing and everything on my own. Right now it's just pretty much my partner and I. We're pretty much like working together to get like the same picture, like to own the pictures and stuff.
Okay. Oh, okay.
You know? So like with my OnlyFans, I pretty much have like a main set, like of photos, like a main photo album, and then I'll have like some fun like behind the scenes like videos to that like album.
What do you recommend to women that want to get into that?
Just do what you want to do, honestly. Like I don't know, like it took me a while, and like I still doubt it, you know, and I still have like my days where I'm like, is this even like something that I should be doing? Because like we're talking about our siblings and like just kind of like the impression you leave, you know. And it's crazy because just me doing this for like, I want to say these last 6 months, I've been getting a lot of successful like feedback. Like people that I would never think would reach out are like reaching out, telling me like, oh, this is cool, or like keep doing what you're doing, like you're aggressive. And it's like, it's at first it was kind of like, what do you mean aggressive, or you know, like what do you mean by that? But now I kind of see it as like, yeah, I think I kind of want that, you know, like in a way of like wanting to do what I want to do, you know.
Yeah.
For someone that's like wants to do it, but it's probably when it comes to like advertising, because obviously you have to advertise yourself. What advice do you have for those people? Because obviously
it's really hard. Yeah, it's really hard because a lot of people do it differently. You know, like a lot of girls like to put everything out there. You know, as it is. There's nothing wrong with that either. You know, that's like one way of marketing. There's different methods, but I feel like ultimately what you feel like you wouldn't regret having out there, having on the internet, is like your ultimate goal. You know, because even if you're signed to these companies or these agencies that are gonna make you a bunch of money or guarantee you all the visa you want to like potentially get the bag you want, you still won't really get to do what you want, you know? Like they're still gonna tell you do this, wear this, and suck this or say that, you know? And it's like that's not really you.
Like you're not putting your own boundaries.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think like especially jumping into this industry, as for myself, the advice I could give is like just be yourself, or like just do what you want to do, but like know that like it's always gonna be out there, you know?
And is there a lot of like male creators in that field? Because I feel like for the most part you only see like really women doing that.
I mean there's plenty. There's a lot of creeps like on my like Pornhub account or like my OnlyFans account. They always message me like, hey, if you need a prop, or if you need an extra, like, dude, no, like
what the fuck?
I'm just not like they have it twisted on how they think that kind of goes, you know?
Yeah,
because that's what kind of sucks too, that people assume that we're easy or it's like an easy go, you know?
Yeah.
It's like it took a while for a lot of women to like cross that line, you know? And like even then, like some women, I feel like some women still are like willing to cross a line but still wear this fake shield, and it's like, what are you shielding yourself for? Like there's nobody even throwing rocks at you or anything. Like I feel like we're so scared to embrace it, that the women that do embrace it or do actively like just show it is very intimidated, you know? Like a lot of men become intimidated by it, but I feel like it shouldn't translate into that. It should just be more like of just self-expression, you know? Like
and is there like have you ever had an experience in which like a man was trying to kind of like manage you in a way where it made you uncomfortable? Or
yes, like I feel that's actually why I'm so thankful that I had the background of me, you know, being so young, getting into this like industry, as in like camming and like just becoming like eye candy or whatever. Just because like there was instances where I would meet people that promise, they seem really genuine, they seem very like just genuine, like they seem like they came from the same place that I came from, as in like motivated and like ambitious, you know? But then like the things that they would tell me, like don't do this, don't do that, they started doing it, you know? And they would and they think that I'm like some bimbo or something, just kind of flies by. Then I would bring it up like, wait, but we're not supposed to do X, Y, you know? And then they would just kind of downplay like, oh no, it doesn't matter. And it's like, wait, that does matter, because when we first met, when I was just an employee, I was just supposed to be like your mentor or like I was just getting this apprenticeship or whatever, all of a sudden, like, it switched, you know? And that made me more aware of, like, wow, people really want you to be, like, think low. People really want you to feel bad and feel, like, people really want to give you the guilt trip because you're doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Especially men, like, that promise you, like, oh, I love your confidence. And, like, your confidence is why you're going to be so successful. It's like they actually really want you to feel really bad about yourself. Ooh. Because the minute that you start feeling really good and, like, making better decisions and, like, being more aware of, like, what's really happening, they become less, you know, powerful.
They can't control you.
Exactly. And, like, that's what happened. Like, I lost really good friendships over that because I was so naive and, like, so, like, in denial of, like, no, they're not gonna use me, or, like, they don't mean that. They don't mean that. Like, we met here, like, we met at a rave, like, it's so genuine, like, you know. But it's like, nah, it isn't. People change, and, like, their motives change, you know.
So, like, how she mentioned, like, is there an advice, like, if you could give 19-year-old you advice, like, what is something that you feel that really impacted you in a sense where you're like, okay, I really wish I knew that then?
I think definitely, like, having a conversation with one of my old best friends, like, I'm not gonna say her name because fuck that bitch. She's fake as fuck. But I still love her. Like, I still have, like, those memories of, like, when we were cool.
The good
and, like,
time.
because we never really broke up. Like, we never actually said, like, I don't like you. Or, like, we're not friends anymore.
Drifted.
We just drifted, you know. But I remember we had a conversation, like, we were on Molly. And, like, we talked about my siblings. And, like, she was just telling me, like, you know, I'm so proud of you. Like, you have all these, like, these new opportunities or the new priorities. But, like, your sister wants to be part of you, you know. Like, you just kind of, like, pay attention to your little brother. Or, like, she was just kind of giving me this advice, like, giving me this insight that I never really cared about because I was so caught up in, like, trying to get out of my parents' house, trying to get out of, like, that type of life. You know what I mean? So I never really cared. And, like, I remember around the time when I was, like, getting that information or just, like, realizing everything and, like, becoming more, like, conscious about, like, my surroundings, everything changed for me because, like, then I realized what did matter. You know what I mean? And, like, I realized, like, the stuff that I'm doing now, like, what is it really for, though, you know? And that's where kind of, like, the idea of becoming, like, a public, like, creating a publishing company kind of developed because it's like, all right, I want this, I'm kind of going for longevity results, you know? I'm not just going for, like, oh, 6 months, this is fun. 6 months, I'm the hot bitch. Like, no, like, in 6 years, you're going to know all the, like, stuff that I'm doing. Or, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it started from me not caring about, like, what it looks like. Because I know what it is. You know what I mean? Like,
and that conversation is what kind of, like, brought you to that realization?
Yeah, exactly. And my best friend, like, well, my old best friend, bringing that up and, like, her talking to me and, like, being, like, she literally was telling me, like, you gotta shift. Like, you can't be this person anymore. Like, you can't, you know, you're a role model now. Like, you know? And, like, you have the assets now to help your sister. So, like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, that was so true, you know?
And I think, too, that has a lot to do with the fact that, like her even saying, like, oh, you're a role model now. It's kind of like saying, like, oh, grow up now.
Exactly. That's what it was.
Yeah, and I feel like that has the stigma of, like, kind of like how men age better than women because it's more socially accepted. Like, once a man kind of ages, they're more mature and they're more thoughtful, as opposed to women, like, you know, they're not in the perfect, like how we were saying earlier, like, you know, you don't have the perfect skin or the perfect body anymore. So as women get older, it's kind of like, oh, well, you need to become this, like, mother figure almost. Yeah. As opposed to just kind of, like, just because you get older doesn't mean you're not sexy anymore.
And it's that for women, maturing means getting ugly physically, but for men, maturing means, like, being more, like, emotionally, like, aware, like, finally being. And it's so crazy how that's so different for, like, both genders, you know, but sadly, like, that's the...
like, to that comment, like, a lot of me, like, I feel like back then it's, like, taking care of your appearances, being kind of vain about, like, you know, like, being... And that's kind of, like, what immaturity kind of is, because you're so worried about, like, how you look and what you kind of are doing, instead of, like, what's the big idea, right? Like, the bigger picture.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what it does, you know? Because now that I'm older, it's so funny because this is, like, the most I get ready ever. Like, I never even get out of, my gym clothes. Like, I'm always, like, my hair up. Like, I don't care how my Instagram looks. Like, I'm always just chonchis. Like, I'm cool because that's just me, you know? I'm wearing a black hoodie and it's cool. And that's just me getting older and getting comfortable with that, you know?
Yeah.
And then it's like, now I'm realizing that it's more comfortable to be more practical than to be some hot girl or, like, feeling sexy all the time. Because it doesn't matter. Like, you don't, you know?
Yeah.
That doesn't validate who you feel like in your core, like, you know? I mean, if you like to dress up and look hot, like, of course, like, do your thing, of course, but if you don't and you just rather lounge or be in a sweater, that doesn't, you're not less than a girl that's dressed like a hottie, you know.
And that's why with the pictures too that I take and like the work that I do, it's fun because like I take pictures and I leave impressions. People think about like, oh yeah, you're still wearing that, when it's like that was like a month ago, or like you get me, like it's kind of like they're not thinking about how I might look in the morning, like, oh, like fodonga, you know, like they're still thinking about what I posted last night or whatever, you know what I mean? So
and even like how you said about your best friend that she was like, oh, like you're a role model to your little sister now, like I think it's all about perception too, because your little sister can also look at you and be like, damn, like my sister thinks she's so sexy, so I'm probably so sexy.
Yeah, she,
you know?
She is. She's
no, and it's true because it's hard to,
so true.
It's hard to, like, how do you look up to, I think it's hard to find a kind of, I guess not necessarily a role model, but just someone you look up to where you're like, I want to feel sexy all the time. Who do I want to look at? So like that I know does feel like that.
Yeah, like I had a cousin when I came to the States. I was like really young, and she was like 19 at the time. My cousin Sandra, and she's the first one that ever bought me lipstick, like from Smashbox.
I love that.
Like she got me my first pair of thongs. You know, like she was really sweet. Like she wasn't even my sister; she was like my cousin. Yeah, and she did that. She would take me on her dates. You know, like it was like those little moments of like femininity, I guess. Yeah, I think like. Made me, you know, like made me a little bit more like appreciative of like just the little things. So it's like it was very intimate, and like we never really shared that. Even after that, she has kids now. Like we don't really talk about that anymore. Yeah, you know, it's like kind of gone. You know what I mean? And that's like the only time I had of like, oh, this is something sexy you wear to feel sexy. Yeah, you know, it was just very small. Like we shouldn't be like that. Like we should be not saying like put your kids in thongs or anything.
Right. You know, but I think at some point as a woman, you start to know and realize like. Appreciate your body in a sense where you're like, okay, I want to feel good about myself. How can I do that?
Exactly.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be thongs if you're not into that. Like there's many different ways of feeling sexy.
I'm a boxer girl. I'm not even gonna lie.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Boxers are sexy.
Yeah, and I do. I swear I feel so sexy in boxers. I just like it's just me personally.
Yeah, because I know a lot of girlies hate thongs.
It's a little pocket you like.
Yeah. Easy access.
Put my lipstick in there.
Open the hole, babe.
Oh my god. But it's true though, like that's one thing that I noticed like growing up, especially with my brothers and my dad. Like he would always call me, my dad would always say like marimacha, because I would always be playing with like, you know, the boys and stuff. But it's like I remember when I would wear like skirts or I did wear dresses, like he was always like, don't do this, or make sure your legs are closed, which was good, you know, and it's good parenting, but like
it's confusing.
It's like, you know.
Yeah.
It's confusing because, like, I used to, like, when I
They have good intentions, but it doesn't always come across the way you want it to.
Because when I wouldn't dress up, my mom would be like, that's how you're going to go to school. And then I would dress up and they'd be like, ay, no es modelaje. And I'm like, girl, this is like, pick one because I can't do both.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and I think, too, that's why now, like, I'll do my makeup and I'll put my hair in a bun and then I'll put it in sweats. And then sometimes I'll do my hair and I'll get a nice outfit, but I won't do my makeup.
See, that's the confusion that kind of parenting creates, because now you're not really confident in the choices that you make.
Or I'm just like, I have to find a balance between both. But it's like if I, like, now I'm kind of transitioning into that now too, because I want to wear heels. Again, I'm in my tall, appreciative of tall women phase. So I'm wearing like platforms and like heels and stuff now, and they'll ask me, they'll be like, ¿A dónde vas? And I'm like, girl, I just really want to wear some heels today. They make me feel
and
cute.
I feel like it's important to know, like, if anyone's watching this, if you had parents that like were like, okay, you know what, don't wear that, and then when you would wear something else, like, well, you know, it's like they always had a comment to make, and I feel like a result of that is kind of like you're not sure of yourself and what you wear. You know, it's okay to realize where that behavior comes from, but as an adult now, it's your choice. You know, you decide for yourself now. You know, I know it's kind of hard to kind of be confident in your skin now and be okay with what you choose, because you know, we've always been told what we choose is not okay. So it feels hard to trust in ourselves. But if you look in the mirror at the end of the day, before you ask anyone and you think you look good and you liked what you were wearing, just fucking wear it. Post a picture. Do whatever you want to do. Like, you know.
I'll post it back, I swear, guys.
You better post that picture later. You know, and then just fucking rock. And I think it's important to note that it's always going to feel uncomfortable in the beginning. You're always going to doubt yourself, but just trust yourself. Even if it feels hard and uncomfortable, just stick by yourself, because at the end of the day, no matter how many comments you get or likes you get or praise you get from everyone in the street, if at the end of the day you don't feel happy within yourself with the choices you're making, you're not going to feel okay ever. So it starts within you. So do it.
If you see your friend posting kind of like a different picture that she normally wouldn't, she got her hair done or something, just share the picture. I feel
Yeah.
like that goes a long way too. Like,
yeah.
without having to say anything, I feel like it just shows like that extra boost of like, yeah, I fuck with you. Or,
Even
like,
if you don't
good
want
for
to
you,
share
you know?
it, like messaging them and saying
Yeah.
like, hey,
You
you
look
know what?
good.
This
Yeah.
looks really good on you, or just whatever,
really
you know.
sweet.
Yeah, just say something.
And it does make a difference because when your friends don't hype you up, it's just kind of like, damn, if my friends don't even like this, like that
what am I
sucks.
doing? Yeah,
Exactly.
100%.
Bitches.
Yeah.
Just
Fucking
kidding.
hoes.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Do you have any more questions? Do you have
Yeah.
anything that you feel like you want to share?
No, I think we're cool.
Yeah?
Just kidding.
Nah, that
I wanna
was
stay
it. See you
mysterious.
later.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I know you said, you know, you had shitty exes. We've all had them. Ladies,
Yeah.
we all have a fair share of shitty boyfriends. But, you know, kind of now that you've matured, I guess, from that, you know, you're choosing better. How is it dating, like you have a boyfriend?
Mm-hmm.
How do you, I guess, know how to choose, or how is it dating
Good
being
question.
kind of like that being your profession, that what you do for
Yeah.
work? How is it, how do you pick the good ones, or how do you know, like, you know, okay, like, you know.
You asked really good questions, by the way, both of
Thank
you
you.
guys. Yeah, really good questions. I wasn't really trying to date. That's the thing. So like when
Okay.
I was doing this and taking more like a serious approach towards
Okay.
it, I definitely knew that I couldn't date, and I didn't expect people to, especially men, like that I
Oh,
would
yeah.
like expect them to be like, oh yeah, whatever you want, or like,
Yeah.
you know, I understand what you
I'll
want to
be
do.
okay with it.
You know,
Mhm.
yeah. So I wasn't really trying to date at all, and like I was just like having kind of like you know, having a friend, like we would hook up and stuff,
Yeah.
and it just kind of developed into like he would never judge me about it. He would actually like try to help me. Like I remember when we first hooked up, like he took pictures of me, and I was like, that's so
Aw.
hot, like that's so cool to me, because
Yeah.
I always wanted it. I kind of always wanted that.
Like I love fantasy.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And like not only that, but even when we wouldn't hook up or anything, like we would always just talk about like creating stuff.
Oh,
Like we
okay.
were always just kind of in the same like avenue about
So you have
things.
something to bond over.
Exactly, you know? So that was easy for me to be like, all right, maybe you are interesting because you're interested in the stuff that I like. So
Kids
You're
have the
not
same
judging
vision.
exactly. We have
Yeah.
the same vision, exactly. And like now that he understands where I'm coming from and like exactly the foundation of my brand, which is Tokyo Reigns.
Love
Now that he understands it, like he's actually envisioning it for my for my own good too, you know.
Yeah.
Which is so sick, you know. And he actually has experience with a bunch of like brands and stuff. So
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm kind of like in luck, you know.
Yeah.
that.
But it just feels really good. Like it's easy.
2-for-1 sale.
It's really
Love
easy to
that.
like pick them out or like
Yeah.
see it for what it is. Cause
And I think it's important to note that you said you weren't looking for it.
I wasn't,
And I feel
yeah.
like I hear that a lot. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I talk to someone that's in a good relationship or like a happy one that's working, they always say I wasn't looking for it, you know? And I feel like that's because you're not pressured, or you don't feel like you have to
Yeah.
act a certain way,
you're
or put on a
attracting what you
certain...
want, and
Yeah,
like it comes to you.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
And
ladies,
I think it's too, it's like you're being yourself
Yeah.
and they're being their self, and you guys just kind of connect on that level without
Yeah.
having that pressure of
Yeah.
like, oh, I need to impress this
And
person.
honestly, I feel like we bonded over just being over people, like being over like the fake dating, like
Yeah.
the fake like, oh, I'm gonna make a fake persona for 6 months and act like you like me, and I'm not gonna tell you I smoke crack, you know, it's just, you know, but like it was
wait,
just
did that happen to you?
No, but I'm just saying like that's just kind of like what happens. People
Yeah.
hide their habits, you know, like it's
No,
shitty. It's like fuck
really.
you, dude. Yeah, I feel like it was really easy for us to like be able to bond over like just shitty experiences, you know.
Yeah.
And now we're like more serious, and it's cool.
Do you have a way as in which that like you keep yourself kind of safe? Because do you feel like like putting yourself out there that way kind of puts you in a like higher
Yeah.
danger?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like definitely. Like I stopped posting. Like I don't really tag where I'm at where I'm there. Like for the last 5-6 years.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, not only that, but I've had like on OnlyFans, I had people like transfer to my Instagram, or like you know what I mean. Like they'll get information from there.
Yeah.
Or not only that, but they'll get involved. Like they think that like somebody I was with that I tagged was my boyfriend, and then they're like, "Oh, you like." I don't want to say it, it's too crazy, but you can cut it out, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Hold on,
it's,
let
like,
me.
definitely like keeping myself safe. Yeah, like I don't really post stuff like that. Yeah.
Do you carry like pepper spray? Or...
A gun.
You know what's funny? I do carry pepper spray. I did carry pepper spray, but not anymore. No, I don't. Like I honestly should though, because
I have this, and I 10/10 recommend. It comes
have
with.
you used it? Oh wow.
It comes with a little thingy.
Sounds like a scribe. You can
And
actually
then
catch a spot with that.
It has a little rape whistle, and this alarm, when you rip this off,
Can you
it'll
blow the
keep
whistle?
ringing.
Yeah. Let's hear the
I wish
rape
it was
whistle.
Blow the
I never
whistle.
heard it in my life. I mean, in real life.
It's just a whistle.
That's hilarious.
But this one, like, when you take it out, if you don't put it in back, it'll just start getting louder. It's really annoying.
Wait, it's a buzzer? Like a ring?
Yeah, it's like an alarm.
But what is it for?
Like if you're in danger, you just pull it to kind of like get attention. Actually, my sister-in-law took my truck with my brother and my niece, and I don't remember where they were, but my niece ripped it out and they couldn't find it. And I guess one of the waitresses came up to my sister-in-law and was like, "Are you okay? Like, are you safe?" And she was like, "Oh yeah, it's just the baby. Like she ripped it off." Yeah, so it's.
I love how you have every contraption though. Like if this doesn't work, this one's gonna work. If this doesn't work, that's gonna work.
I don't know what this is for.
It's a bottle opener.
Oh,
love it.
Okay, well there. Some of them come with tasers too, so.
I want a taser. Just
I don't bring my I don't keep my taser in my bag because I'm scared.
Honestly,
I'm gonna tase
really
myself.
want to learn like combat fighting just to keep myself safe.
Yeah,
I feel like that's really cool.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Because like I go to the gym and then sometimes my little brother puts me in a chokehold and I'm like, damn, I can't even get out of this motherfucker. Like, imagine a big fucking man just coming in and abducting me.
No,
I'm going.
Have you done any martial arts before? Or?
No, I tried not kickboxing. What is it? I took like one MMA class. And
Okay, like Muay Thai?
Yeah. Oh yeah, like Muay Thai.
I've done that
this
too.
is hard.
Dude, same. I did it for a week and I feel like the partner I had wasn't like same as me. Like she was shorter than me and she was actually like probably like a yellow belt or something. Like she was already experienced and it's like
she's not kicking your ass.
She's fucking you up.
Dude, we were doing it for a week and every time I would kick her, I would say sorry to her. And it's just embarrassing, like, and she's there trying to like kick ass, and I'm like, sorry. Just
You're
like,
all apologizing.
Like making her
sorry.
I feel like that'd be me, low key.
Dude, I honestly couldn't get past the fact that everybody was barefoot. I was very aware of the sweat on my feet, and it was grossing me out. So that's why I never went back, truthfully.
It's really gross.
Crazy.
Yeah, it smells like ass in there. Yeah, so bad.
It's really gross.
It's nasty.
Because people are like, just don't have good hygiene? Or?
No. It's just because you're doing such an intense sport and you have to do it barefoot. Like, you can do it in socks.
And your sweat, like, even if you're on the floor, like, you're sweating here, it's all transferred
and you're grabbing onto people, so you're, like, touching them, like, sweaty, and it's pretty gross. The class I did was more kickboxing, but I was watching them, and I was like, I'm never coming back here again.
It's so sick, though. Actually, I moved to this apartment, and below the floor, there's actually a Muay Thai gym. It's like
See, if I had it that, if I had it that accessible, I would probably go.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Oh my god, that's cool.
Yeah,
let us know how it goes.
Yeah. If you recommend it,
yeah, let us know, please.
Oh my god. Okay, do you think it's a good wrap up?
Yeah, that was
really a really good episode.
Really cool.
I
learned a lot.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, same.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, this was a first.
Do you want to? I know you told me you had a project that you were working on. Do you want to share that?
Yeah, I do actually. So I have a zine coming out. Do I look at the camera?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a zine coming out on this month, at the end of this month. So if you go to tokyorains.com, you should be able to download it there.
And what's a zine?
Yeah, it's like a small collection of pictures.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, so it should be cool. It's like the first of many, so.
Awesome. That's why we waited a little bit to have her on, because she was working on some cool projects. So go ahead and check her out. Definitely. You want to drop your other? Yeah,
tokyorains.com or OnlyFans, Tokyo Rains.
Love that.
Fan Central.
Yes. Also, what is Fan Central?
So it's like another platform, same thing, but like, it's just where it's like less OnlyFansy. Like it's just you can upload like photo albums and like poems and shit or like whatever. It's like Patreon,
like Tumblr almost.
Oh, dope.
Still kind of like OnlyFans realm.
I feel like Tumblr's when I started really watching porn, because there was so much porn on there.
No way.
Yeah, a lot. Maybe I was just being a little horn dog when I was a teenager.
Cool. I wish I knew that.
Yeah, it was. I swear.
I probably would have been on Tumblr.
I honestly think you would have, because it had that passionate love sex porn we were talking about. Well, thank you so much for coming. We appreciate you driving all the way out here.
Yes.
Thank you guys for watching. I don't know which one to look at because I'm on both, but anyways, go ahead and do the outro because I
thank you guys for joining us in this episode. Josie, thank you. You were an amazing guest. We learned a lot.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing and being open and vulnerable.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
And thank you, Steph. I love you for doing this
guys.
with me.
Thank you.
And I hope you guys join us for next week's episode. As always, I'm your host, Vanessa, and you can find me at bloomingvc.big on Instagram and Twitter.
And you can find me on Steph Scott Milk on everything. And you guys already heard Josie share her platforms, so go ahead and check her out. She's amazing and she's gorgeous. Thank you guys so much for watching. Love you.
Bye.
Thank you so much. That was such a good episode.